Hello guys, my name is Prince and this is Math Center. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Post your comments and questions on my social media handles and I'll respond to it. We are on the topic sets. In the previous video, we learned how to divide a set. In this video, we are going to learn how to rationalize a set. So let's begin by learning what rationalization of sets are. In some fractional sets, the denominators are also sets. So for example, in this example, we have 1 over square root of 3, 3 over 2 square root of 11. So you can see from here that this is a fractional set, a set involving a fraction, or a fraction with a set in it. Now the denominators are also sets. Now whenever you have this, we see that the denominators are irrational. So from here, square root of 3 is irrational, 2 root 11 is irrational. So what we do is that we want to rationalize this. We want to make the denominator a rational number or a whole number. So rationalization is the process of making the denominator a whole number or a rational number. So we want to change this denominator here into a whole number or a rational number. That is the whole process or the whole idea behind rationalization. Now, how do we do this? This is done by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. Let's pick an example to illustrate this. So if you have x over square root of y, now you can see from here that the denominator, this is a fractional set and the denominator is also a set. So you have to rationalize this. So what you do is that you multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the denominator, which is square root of x. So it's going to be x over y, which is the fractional set itself. You multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. So the denominator is square root of y. So you multiply x by square root of y. You multiply y by square root of y. So you can see from here that we are going to have x times square root of y, which will give us s root y, divided by, now square root of y times square root of y will be y. So you see we have removed the square root from the denominator. That is the whole idea of rationalization. Let's pick some real examples and see how this is done. So we are being told to rationalize the following and we have been given from question 1 up to question 5. So let's pick them one after the other. The first one, we have 2 over square root of 3. We are being told to rationalize this. So once again, whenever you are told to rationalize a set, multiply the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. The denominator here is square root of 3. So you multiply 2 by square root of 3. You multiply square root of 3 by square root of 3. Now we know this is going to give us 2 times square root of 3 all over square root of 3 times square root of 3. 2 times square root of 3 will give us 2 root 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 will give us 3. So you see we have now changed the denominator, which was an irrational number, to a rational number, which is 3. Let's pick the next example. We have square root of 2 over square root of 7. Once again, you multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. So you multiply square root of 2 by square root of 7. You multiply square root of 7 by square root of 7. Now this will give us square root of 2 times square root of 7 divided by square root of 7 times square root of 7. Since these are multiplying, we are going to have 2 times 7 to give us square root of 14. Then square root of 7 times square root of 7 will give us 7, as we have here. Let's pick the next example. We have square root 6 over square root of 32. Now we can see clearly from here that 32 is not in its simplest form. So what you have to do is to break it down or reduce it to its simplest form. Now we know that to reduce this, you are going to have 6 is already there. So you have 6, then divided by, if you are breaking 32 down, you are going to have square root of 16 times 2. We have done a lot of this, so you should be conversant with how to find these two numbers by now. Then this will give us is equal to 6 over square root of 16 times square root of 2. It will give us square root of 16 will give us 4. Then we have square root of 2 here, so 4 times square root of 2. Then we can see from here that 2 can cancel itself 2 can cancel 4 2 times and cancel 6 3 times. So this will give us 3 over 2 square root of 2. Now you can see that this is our final answer after you simplify this. But we still have a square root sign in the denominator. So what you have to do is that we rationalize this. Now in order to rationalize 3 over 2 root 2, what you do is that you multiply both the numerator, which is 3, and the denominator, which is 2 root 2, by the denominator, which is 2 root 2. Now this is what it means. So you multiply the numerator by 2 root 2, you multiply the denominator by 2 root 2. So you can see that this will give us 3 times 2 root 2 all over 2 root 2 times 2 root 2. So let's proceed. 3 times 2 root 2 will give us 6 root 2. Now 2 times 2 will give us 4. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 will give us 2. So you are going to have 6 root 2 over 4 times 2. Now we can see from here that 2 is a factor of 6. So 2 can cancel itself 1 and cancel 6 3 times. So this will give us 3 root 2 all over 2 has cancelled itself 1. So 2 times 1 to give us 4. So once again, you can try this on your calculator and see, and you realize that you are going to have the answer as we have here. So we have 6 divided by square root of 32, and the calculator is giving us 3 root 2 divided by 4 as we have here. So whenever you have this, this is what you do. You break it down into the simplest form. If you still have a square root sign in the denominator, you rationalize, and when you are rationalizing, you multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. Let's pick the next one. We have square root of 63 plus 1 over square root of 7. This is in its simplest form. Now this is not, so you first have to break this down before you continue. So if you are breaking square root of 63 down, you are going to have 9 times 7. So square root of 9 times 7, then plus 1 over square root of 7, which is already there. We know that this is going to give us square root of 9 times square root of 7 plus 1 over square root of 7. Then it will give us square root of 9 will give us 3 times square root of 7 will give us 3 root 7, then plus 1 over square root of 7. Now you can see everything here has now been broken to its simplest form. But we still have a fraction here, 1 over square root of 7, and the denominator is a surd. So we have to rationalize this part. Now don't forget that this is not a fraction, so we will not worry ourselves with this. We are only worried with the fractional part. So we rationalize only this part. Now how is that done? We leave this part alone since it's not a fraction. So we are rationalizing here. So you multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. So we are going to have 1 times 1 over square root of 7 times square root of 7 over square root of 7. Now we are going to have 3 root 7 plus 1 times square root of 7 divided by square root of 7 times square root of 7. You know that this is going to give us 3 root 7 plus 1 times square root of 7 will give us square root of 7 divided by square root of 7 times square root of 7 will give us 7. Now you can see this is the same as 3 root 7 plus, there is 1 here in front of the square root of 7. So we are going to have 1 over square root of 7, 1 over 7 square root of 7. Since we have 1 here, so 1 over 7 times square root of 7. Remember, nothing has changed here because this square root of 7 here is also over 1. So you are going to have 1 times square root of 7 over 7 times 1, which will give us 1 over 7 square root of 7. Now we have square root of 7 under this square root. We have 7 under this square root sign. We have 7 under this square root sign. So we can add the numbers in front. Don't forget that you can only add when the numbers under the square root sign are the same. So we add 3 to 1 over 7, then square root of 7. If you watch the video on addition, you will see that 3 plus 1 over 7 will give us 22 over 7. Then we have square root of 7 here. So once again, you can also try this on your calculator and see, and you see that if you punch this on the calculator, you are going to have 22 over 7, then square root of 7. So take your time and go through the whole process, and you see that it is very, very simple. Let's pick the last example. We have square root of 2 plus square root of 5 all over square root of 10. Now you can see everything here is in its simplest form. You can't break square root of 10 further because it has no perfect square in it. This has no perfect square, and that also has no perfect square, so they are all in its simplest form. So straight away you rationalize. When you are rationalizing, we say that you multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. The denominator here is square root of 10, so you are going to have square root of 2 plus square root of 5 divided by square root of 10 times square root of 10 divided by square root of 10. So you multiply square root of 10 with what is on the numerator here. Now remember, we have a binomial here. We have two terms here. So you put them in brackets, then you multiply it with the term outside the bracket. Then when you come here, we have square root of 10 times square root of 10. So square root of 10 times square root of 2 will give us square root of 20, plus square root of 10 times square root of 5 will give us square root of 50. Square root of 10 times square root of 10 will give us 10. Now square root of 20 and square root of 50 are not in their simplest form, so you have to reduce them to the simplest form. In doing that, you have square root of 4 times 5 plus square root of 25 times 2. This will give us square root of 4 times square root of 5 plus square root of 25 times square root of 2. Square root of 4 will give us 2 times square root of 5 will give us 2 root 5, then plus square root of 25 will be 5 times square root of 2 will give us 5 root 2, all divided by 10. Now we can't add what is here because we have 5 under the square root sign and we have 2 under the square root sign. They are not the same, so we can't add. Neither can we cancel here, since we can't factorize a common factor out of the numerator here. So this is going to be our final answer. You can try this on the calculator and you see that this is what you are going to have as your final answer. Thank you for watching this video on rationalization of surds. Now you realize that the questions in this video you were being told to rationalize. In most cases that does not happen. You will be given a question, and when you solve the question to a certain point, you will have to rationalize from there. In the next video, we will consider examples that involve us solving the question, then being asked to rationalize at a certain point. So in the next video, we are going to take more examples on rationalization of surds. Bye bye.